Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another episode of All You Can Eat Chelsea. People are like, bring this this week, please. Please bring this to us because we need the therapy, the copium, all of that good stuff. Obviously, we had a friendly to play as well that we enjoyed. And then we've got a massive game, an absolutely massive game on Saturday. It's not a friendly, it's a Premier League football game. All right, I don't want to hear nothing. It is a competitive game on Saturday at midnight UK time against these bastards called Brighton. Before I get into these quotes, Younes, brother, how are you doing? Because I'm gonna slaughter this lot.
Bro, listen, I've said this already. This is a Champions League final. Like, this is personal. I don't care. Like, and I heard what Poch had to say earlier on. I appreciate it. I know he's right. Deep down, he's right. Yeah, this is a preseason game. It's about the fitness. But no, to us, this is a Champions League final, and I want to destroy Brighton on Saturday. I want to kill them. So, we move.
Miz, brother, how are we feeling? It's a must win. I can't lie. Must win.
Bro, I've been saying it since the match we finished with Wrexham that if we don't absolutely obliterate Brighton, as you said, this is no preseason for me. I'm coming in with all the attention. I'm coming with all the energy. This needs to be a must win. I want all our young kids to absolutely cream all over Brighton. Cream all over them. That's what needs to happen. We need to humble these lot because they're a little bit loopy. They've lost their mind a little bit. They need to understand you're a selling club. You need to know where you belong in this world. You have to sell your assets. That's what you do. Don't act like now all of a sudden you're some sort of a new team breaking up the top six and this, that, the other.
He thinks they are. He thinks they are. Zerbi said he's like, the signs are looking like we're becoming a big club. I'm like, no. When Man City got taken over, that was them beginning to start being a big club, and we saw what happened.
Do you know what?
Nowhere near.
Do you know what? I don't even want to take it down this. We're bigger than you. Your little club. I'm not even going to take it down that route because it's football. It peaks and it flows, right? Nottingham Forest one day, Leeds the next, Man United one day, exactly. Chelsea the next. I'm not even going to be that guy because it's football and any team has any right to be where they want to be. But don't you dare talk about our player under contract in this manner. When I read out these quotes, if you haven't seen them already, you're going to be flabbergasted. I'm not even doing this. We're the bigger club. If for most people, the butt of the joke, we're the mid-table team. We're getting bullied by the European team right now.
He's planning to start the season with Colwill. Like he's actually saying that.
No, the disrespect is on another level. The disrespect is on another level. I don't know who they think they are. I don't know who this manager thinks he is to talk about our player under contract in this manner.
He said it himself. Before he mentioned Colwill, he said that it's disrespectful to talk about players of other clubs. It came out his own mouth. 1 minute later, I want Colwill and Caicedo to play together. What? They will play together in royal blue at Chelsea, not amongst the seagulls on the coast of Brighton with the bird poop, landing on their heads and all that madness. No. They're going to be amongst luxury and the areas of Chelsea and Kensington and Mayfair and a place where you need to really show up.
There's too much.
They will be together,
bro. I don't know if they are in another dimension and they've forgotten what's reality. I don't know if Brighton bubble and Brighton Hove Albion admin and the Zerbi and the fans. I don't know if they've got entirely confused and they've got this situation royally fucked up in their heads. But this is the reality. Let me explain it to you guys because do you know what? I actually used to like Brighton. I've had Brighton fans on the channel. I've been to Brighton to pick up my PS5. I like Brighton. Lovely town, lovely seaside town. I thought they had some class about them. I know that we're not the classiest.
Even the Zerbi.
We don't pretend
I like
to be.
Zerbi.
I thought they were a classy team. Clearly, I was mistaken. Clearly, I was wrong. You're not a classy club. So now I'm going to treat you like trash, like everybody else. Let me tell you the reality of the situation. We have Fofana out for the season, right? We have Chalobah. We have Silva, who's on his last legs, right? And should be in the family stand, sitting with his wife and kids. We have out
hospitality.
Yeah. We have Badia Shile out injured. We have a new kid that's rocked up called Humphreys. Sounds great. And we've got Levi Colwill. We couldn't even sell him to you even if we wanted to. So stop talking about Levi Colwill because he's not your player. You was loaned this player. That was our gift to you. And you're welcome, right? You got a great young centre-back on loan last year. It heavily elevated your performance. We have given you Gilmore for 7 million. We have given you Lamptey for 3 million. We have purchased Cucurella for 62 Squadinis. 62 of the fine kings, queens, sterling.
Don't forget Graham Potter. We broke the record.
We paid the release clause. We paid
22 million.
22 million for you to get a manager upgrade. And this is how you want to move. Okay, cool. Let's read out the quotes. You guys want to play this? You want to play this? We play this. Let's do this. Do you know what? I think Younes said on Twitter, I think it was today or yesterday, he said, this Caicedo, here we go, would hit sweeter than anything else. Do you know what? I think Enzo. I said, Enzo, nah, man. I was tracking planes. I was up until 12 o'clock at night. I was watching Fabrizio Stream. I looked like I was flying a plane. I had this little headphone with the mic on. We had the whole chat popping. He was going for 5 hours. I had a sponsorship that fell through. Everything was kicking off. And I said, this can't get better. Oh, it can. Oh, it can. Listen, let's read out these quotes before I continue. And I'll tell you what needs to happen next. And for the people in the chat that are saying we've been talking about Caicedo, the fans, we're talking about Caicedo.
Yeah.
Have our club tweeted Caicedo? No. Has our manager spoken about Caicedo's name once? No.
We are Chelsea Football Club. We talk about whoever we want to fucking talk about.
I love it.
Brighton need to understand. If I want to talk about,
I told you.
If I want to talk about Evan
James Bond FC.
If I want to talk about Zerbi, I will talk about them. Chelsea admin has every right to talk about every single player that Brighton ever has and ever will have in the future. This is Brighton. They are a small club. Act like one. Don't try to redesign the world. Understand. Now, this is true talk. Seriously, you got to understand how the life works. All right. I know my place in life. Younes knows his place in life. We don't walk around acting like we're superheroes, right? Brighton, you're acting like you're a superhero. You're just an ordinary club.
Are you saying that we're the lion and they're the seagull?
Absolutely. We will eat you every day of the week. Every day of the week. Just because you had one good season and we came 12th, all of a sudden you think you're the big shot. Brother, I cannot wait to jizz all over you. Honestly, I cannot wait. You need to understand this is Chelsea Football Club. God damn it. Yeah, I can't wait till Poch comes out and go, Brighton, give up Caicedo immediately because he's going to be in the starting lineup for us very soon. So don't disappoint us.
We have not spoken about any of their players publicly. We have been very respectful. Behind the scenes, yes, we're negotiating. We're sending on our offers. They're getting rejected. We're handling business in a professional manner. This is extremely unprofessional. I can't remember the last time. Because I'm putting this tweet out, and Liverpool fans and United fans are chiming in, telling me, "Oh, just pay." Shut up, bro! Shut up! No one was talking to you. Mind your business. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you always getting involved? It's like Arsenal fans as well. Mind your business. It's just between us and Brighton. It's nothing to do with you lot. When you came for Mason Mount, you didn't speak about Mason Mount publicly, right? You kept your mouth shut, handled business behind the scenes, got the deal done. So I don't want to hear that this is the norm. Nobody does this. Manchester United, we've been dealing with this summer. Respectful. Didn't mention Mason Mount once. Arsenal, we've been dealing with this summer. Kai Havertz, didn't mention him once. And the list goes on because we sold a hell of a lot of players. It's the first time in all of our 20 outgoing dealings where a manager has spoken about one of our players publicly and said that, which I'll read out in a minute. It's not normal. And it shouldn't become normal either. It's very disrespectful. And it's
do you want to know
It's
why?
unsettling for the player. It's unsettling.
Exactly.
For the
Do you know what this classifies as? Tapping up the player. I think Chelsea right now should report Brighton to the Premier League. That's what I think.
100%.
That's what I think we should do.
100%.
I think we should report them to the Premier League because you man are basically tapping up Colwill at this point, as far as I'm concerned. That's how I see it. You're basically
live
tapping
on
up the player.
TV. Like people do this.
When Liverpool
behind the
did it with Van
scenes.
Dijk, they got done. They're tapping up the player.
Do you know what this shows? We were just speaking at the beginning about who the big club is and whatnot, right? You know what this approach that they're doing now shows? It shows they're not a big club because big clubs don't function like that. Simple as that.
100%.
Big clubs don't do this mistake or make this sort of statement or start, piping up in the way that we've seen the Zerbi and Brighton do tonight and the last few days. Big clubs don't operate like that. So that just goes to show you where they really are. Simple.
Younes, you know how it is. It's like they saw new money. It's when you become rich, like for the first time, and you see this new money, and you lose your head. You lose your head. You go, oh my god, I must be the real deal. Like you'll see rich people. They act all classy and cool because they see the money. Like they've seen generations after generations, like us. Like, we've seen generations of good money, right? Brighton, for the first time, they're seeing some sort of attention going their way. They're seeing some, profitability in their club, and they're seeing some success. They're in Europa. They've lost their head. They've absolutely lost their head, and they have forgotten where they belong in this ecosystem. And in this ecosystem, they belong under the rock. That's the honest truth. Any Brighton fans listening, you belong under the rock. I'm sorry. In this ecosystem, that's what it is.
Let me read out these quotes from De Zerbi tonight. He says, Moses Caicedo is a Brighton player, and Tony Bloom told me, if the conditions don't change, Moses stays with us. For me, it would be great news. Nothing wrong with that quote. Fantastic. He says, I've not received any news that Caicedo can leave. I start next season with Caicedo in my head in the first 11. He says that he loves Levi Colwill. To be honest, fair enough. Nothing wrong with that. You could say that you love a player of another team. Cool. Says that if Chelsea offer Colwill, it might help them with Caicedo. Okay, now you're starting to wiggle too close to the line now. But it could get worse.
He shouldn't have said that. He shouldn't have said that. You can't say that.
Last time I checked, he's not negotiating.
You can't say that.
I'm not really sure why he's saying that.
He's not an agent.
He's the manager. He's not even in the boardroom. That's not.
But the thing is, we've already said we're not entertaining this. Like, this is not happening. No. You see this whole swap deal that you keep putting on. You're moving like one of the Italian clubs right now. Like, bro, I know you're Italian, but you're moving like one of the clubs. You're moving like Inter Milan. We've told you it's like you're deaf. Like, if you're hard of hearing, do you know what I'm saying? Get an earbud, stick it in there, wiggle it around, see what comes out. Do you know what I'm saying? Visit your local GP. Whatever, the healthcare, I know NHS right now is looking a bit underfunded. Do something. You don't have to be living this life where you're not comprehending English. Like, it's not necessary. The next quote is, did you promise Caicedo he could leave? He said, it's not true. I'm not the owner or sporting director. In my work, I am used to speaking with my players every day. I didn't give my word on nothing. We didn't speak about the next transfer market when it extended. Can I just say on this before we move on? You see Caicedo's agent, he has royally fucked up. First of all, sending out that letter, that Harry Potter book of a letter in January to get to move to Arsenal. Did that not work for you, right? Yeah. Then signing a new contract with no release clause. What are you doing with your player? Ridiculous. What are you doing with your client? Alexis McAllister had some 500 Liverpool fans telling me 350,000 Leighton Orient type money in release clause. Yeah?
Very smart.
500,000 release clause, in his contract for him to leave. World Cup winner, he goes to Liverpool for basically nothing, right? Why did you not put a release clause in the contract that you extended for your client if you two wanted to leave so badly? You're not using your brains. You're not learning from the Harry Kane saga. You're talking about handshakes and word of mouth. Are you foolish? Do you understand how this sport works?
Do you know what happened there, Matisse? I reckon, look, Caicedo, young kid from South America, obviously very, very humble and respectful. The fact that Brighton gave him an opportunity to kickstart his career and have this blockbuster move. I reckon they just felt that, you know what, Brighton, you seem like a lovely club. We'll abide by your rules and regulation. But as you said, Matisse, I hope Caicedo's agent, you understand this is a ruthless world.
Big
It's a
game.
ruthless world. You have stuffed up. You really have stuffed up. And now, do you know what, boys? Honestly speaking, if it is 100 million that they're holding on to, I say walk away. Why should we submit to their 100 million? Why? I think 80 million is more than respectful, more than enough. It is absolutely the book value in the market. Just because Declan Rice went for 100 million, that doesn't mean we have to pay over the top. Even Declan Rice shouldn't have been worth 100 million.
Well, we're going to get to alternatives in a minute. Perfect. But we're gonna get to alternatives because I do want to see what you guys is breaking.
Chelsea won't pay 100 million though.
Yeah,
we already know they won't pay.
Then what does that mean? So soon we have to walk away, right? Like we cannot continue with this charade or transfer window on.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna go for alternatives. Let me finish off these quotes because we're still on the disrespect. The Zerbi says, I would like to play with Colwill and Caicedo together. Okay. Are you Chelsea manager? No?
Wow.
Okay.
Exactly.
You're not Chelsea manager. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm not really sure where you're going with this one. On Caicedo, the price is for our owner and CEO. They will decide the right price. Cool. And then this one here, I want Caicedo and Colwill in my team, but we will see if these are if they are players that want to leave, we have to eventually permit it. First of all, Caicedo, if you want to leave, you need to hand in the transfer request.
Now it's come to that now.
It's the only way you're getting out.
What does that mean, though? What does that mean? What does a transfer request do?
He just said, and if there are players who want to leave, we have to eventually permit it. Now he said eventually. I don't know how long into the future that is, but he said eventually. So maybe the transfer request will do nothing. But to say that you want Caicedo and Colwill on your team, like I said, your club does not have a contract with Levi Colwill. It was a loan. I don't think these guys know that they had him on loan. I think they had this. Exactly. They say never fall in love with a loan player, right? I have a João Felix t-shirt. Look how that turned out for me. Don't fall in love with a loan player. It's not your player. It's just not your player. You know that. And,
I think the player kind of gave them an indication as well. That's what I'm worried about. Because the player also showed, I love you too. That's why, it's a two-way street. Now the player obviously looks like he wants to be at Chelsea, I think. But there was a moment, Matisse, where the player and the agent gave them an impression.
No, bro.
I kind of want to sleep with you as well. Make some sweet love.
Brother, no. I'm not even gonna afford you the excuse of that for them. You're being too nice. My brother, if you enter a brothel, that is the equivalent of a loan deal. If you enter a brothel, you're not looking for love. It is a loan deal. It's a quick fix.
For some quick
action. A quick fix. You're going to enjoy the moment. It's a short term. And then you're going to leave and you're going to go and seek security and safety in your life. If you think that you can build from brothels and strip clubs, then you've lost your mind. You can't build anything from that. This is what a loan deal is. It's a quick fix. So I don't know what he's doing. Falling in love with Natasha. It's mad. It's mad.
I'd like to think Levi Colwill is not Natasha, but
he is Natasha. He's like he is. Levi Colwill is Natasha for them. That's what he is, right? He sold them dreams, even though he knows his ass is contracted at Chelsea.
I could imagine Lukaku being Natasha. Lukaku is definitely Natasha.
Is not.
No, Lukaku's got OnlyFans and all sorts, man.
Listen, Lukaku is, I don't know who the most famous stripper is in the world. He's that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't gonna find no security, no safety, nowhere because no one wants him. But listen, you see, Colwill knows he's contracted till 2025 with an option of a further year, I believe. So you know your own situation as well. So I don't know why you guys are all playing this game like you don't know what the situation is. You all know what the reality is, and we have injured centre backs. It's not even like they're all fit. Two of the centre backs we have are injured, and one, like I said, he should be on the beach. So it's mad. I don't know what's going on with this lot.
I said this yesterday, yeah, and I think I rambled for about 5 whole minutes saying the same phrase over and over again because this is what it's done. But I don't know how to bet. Look, there was even some people in the chat that said it. I don't know how better we can say this in the English vocabulary, right? Levi Colwill is not sale.
I said the same thing as well.
Like, is there anything else that makes it more clear? in the English language, or do we have to start picking up other languages? Like I mentioned yesterday, do we have to start picking up Chinese and Arabic and Afrikaans and I don't know, all the different languages of the world? Because
I think
Brighton
Chelsea
doesn't
should
speak
tweet
English.
out in all the different languages what that Levi Colwill was for sale in English, then do it in Italian, then French, then Spanish.
Maybe.
Just literally just
Yeah.
listen.
I think right now it's come to the stage where we probably put it on our logo, in the Chelsea logo. Levi Colwill
Maybe that
not
can be
for
the
sale.
sponsor. Maybe that should be the sponsor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boom. Yeah.
That could be the sponsor. That could be the sponsor. Right,
He's
and
not
we
for
should
sale.
go into the game against them with that on the shirts.
With not for sale.
Colwill is not for sale. Across the middle of our shirt, we don't have a sponsor anyway. Do you know what
That
I'm
would
saying?
be
We can
class.
pick the font because we're sponsoring ourselves, make it look nice, and walk out, and it'll be easy to understand. Do you know what? Do you know what it is with me? And I've said this when I was speaking about Levi before. Levi Colwill is an extreme talent, right? I wanted him to stay last summer. I want him to stay this summer. I rate him very highly. But I also don't like this fuss around him, right? Because he still has to play for Chelsea, show up for Chelsea, perform
100%.
for Chelsea, win with Chelsea, and
That's what
show
we were saying last week.
that he will reach his potential.
Yeah,
There's still hard work to be done. There's still
100.
mistakes to be ironed out. There's still tactics to learn. There's still leadership attributes to grow on. Levi Colwill is not Messi.
It's not the finished product.
He's not
It's not the finished
Mbappe.
product.
So I don't like this circus around him, because I need him to remain humble, composed, and ready for the challenge. Because make no mistake, the pressure here is different. It's not Brighton you're coming to. You're Chelsea now. So I don't like all this gas around him right now. That's why I'm trying to simmer this down. I'm trying to simmer down, y'all. We're in America. I'm trying to simmer down. But it's very difficult to do that when people just won't shut up. They just won't stop.
Do you know what would be great? If Colwill came out live on Instagram or something
Not
and
gonna
said,
do that.
I'm not joining Brighton. Why not? Why not, Colwill?
No,
Why
I
wouldn't
don't
you
think-
do that? Why
I don't
would you
think
want
he
to
has
go to
to-
Brighton? Why would
He
you want to
doesn't.
go to
I
Brighton?
don't think he has to mention Brighton, but I think he needs to make some sort of a, even if it's cryptic, just something to let everyone know I'm here at Chelsea. I'm not going anywhere. That's it.
Younes, tell me one thing. Can Brighton pay him more than what we can? Tell me this. I mean, personal terms, is that an issue for us against Brighton?
It's a non-debate. It's a non-starter.
So why can't he come out and say, Brighton, you're poor. I will not join you. I
not gonna
enjoyed
do
the
that.
loan, but
That,
you're
because
poor.
that
You're
would
very
be
poor.
because
I
it would
will
be
not join you.
unprofessional from him. Do you know what I need him to do?
But I
you know
love
what?
it.
I don't need
Sometimes you need to be
I just need
unprofessional.
I don't need him to get involved, right? We'll fight with them. You just stay inside and do your training drills with Poch. You don't need to come out here and fight, right? We got Egg Bally. Egg Bally just needs to put the suit on, get the sunglasses out, Todd
That's
Bowley,
it.
get back. Listen, right now, I'm gonna keep it a buck, right? Last season, we were traveling for wonderful meals. We were rocking up in mafia trucks and we were moving mad, right? We didn't close our deals, but we certainly sent shockwaves around Europe, right? When Stanley is maybe not got the aura, okay? Maybe he's former Brighton. They think they can take the piss, little banter. No, it's not banter.
Maybe
We
that's
need
what's
to bring
taking
Egg
long.
Bally. Egg Bally needs to
Yeah.
go to the office and listen. If you have to go over there and just threaten a few, that's all you have to do.
They're in America. When they meant to have the
They're all-
face conversation.
Everybody close.
It worked with Benfica. They almost kicked off over there. 5 minutes later, Enzo was our player. So
The best thing he can do is say nothing, talk to Poch, sign a new contract. That's all I need him to do. That's it.
But
Yeah.
you know what? I heard some stories later in regards to Enzo. Enzo actually went up and threatened Rui Costa. He said, you better sell me or else Argentina Mafia coming for you. Like, I'm
also
telling
he
you
had
right now.
Egbali Mafia and Argentina Mafia on his case.
Caicedo, I think, is being a bit too nice. He's being a bit too nice.
This is
He
why
needs
now
to
he needs to
create a
hand
bit
in,
of a fuss.
he needs to hand in a transfer request. He needs to
Don't
do
go
it.
to
thing is
training. Don't go to training. Boycott them everywhere. Unfollow them on socials.
But
And maybe just rock up at Chelsea. I don't know. Just rock up at Chelsea.
Obviously, he only signed. When did he sign? 18 months ago, was it? Right. So
Yeah,
he was already on a long contract. So signing a new contract wasn't necessarily him doing a Wilfred Zaha or Harry Kane locking himself in for his whole career, because he was already on a long contract anyway. Player power is dependent on your contract length and your importance to the team and the interest from others. Hudson-Odoi, Bayern Munich, power. Mason Mount, 1 year left, power. Mbappe, power. Don't need to even say anything. It's Mbappe, right? He's basically president. Mbappe is in control of the PSG situation because his contract has 1 year left. He
He's
knows
bad
Real
boy.
Madrid will want him. He knows every single club on this planet that can afford him will want him. He is the best player in the world right now. Power. Caicedo has no power. He has no power. He's locked in a long-term deal. He already fucked up in January, his agent, and he didn't put a release clause in his contract. He has no power in this situation. That's just the unfortunate reality for him.
Yes, in terms of the circumstances, but I want to go back to the point of the power of actually handing in a transfer request. I do think it's shunned upon. When a player hands in a transfer request, the club are forced to let the player go, because at that point, the club are risking the player just turning the entire place into a madness. It's a risk.
But why are they forced? He's contracted.
He's not forced. Bro, do you remember Wayne Rooney under Ferguson handed in about 2 or 3 transfer requests? Do you remember when we bid for him?
Oh yeah,
we came in for him. We came in for Wayne. This is one of the craziest transfer stories that never gets spoken about. Everybody speaks about Steven Gerrard. You guys remember, obviously, Ashley Cole. No one speaks about Wayne Rooney. We went in for Wayne Rooney. He put in a transfer request at Manchester United, England's all-time leading goal scorer, Manchester United legend, wanted to come to Chelsea. No one speaks about it because he was maybe falling out with Ferguson. But they didn't give a shit. They said, you know what? You can hand in your transfer request, but you're not going anywhere. That's the same club that got rid of Roy Keane, got rid of David Beckham. So it doesn't always work.
With Wayne Rooney in that example, what happened afterwards kind of, I won't say justified, but he ended up getting a £250,000 a week contract. At that time, that was ridiculous. It's like now getting a 400k, 500k contract. Back then, that was the case. He got that contract, and all of a sudden, he's happy. And then it's like, was the whole thing premeditated? Was the whole thing a calculation? It might have been, because he got his contract. With Caicedo, I don't think he'd put Brighton to the sword in terms of give me a multi-mega mad contract. I genuinely think he wants to leave the club. But he hands in a transfer request. It's a risk. There are some players that will hand in a transfer request, and then if nothing happens, they won't kick up a fuss. But there are some players where they hand in a transfer request, nothing happens, and all of a sudden, it's all guns blazing. I'm not going to play. I'm gonna kick the ball out on purpose. I'm not going to show up for training. Whatever it is, a transfer request in this situation with Brighton, and we're talking about big club, small club, yeah. If it really came down to it and they know the player is desperate to leave, they will take 80 million.
But Younes, explain this to me. So say officially Caicedo puts in a transfer request. If Brighton goes, okay, you didn't really need to do that. We already know you want to leave.
According to Zerbi, he doesn't.
Okay, so what if Brighton turns around and tells Caicedo, I hear your transfer request, but you're contracted to us. You're our asset. I will only sell you to the price I feel is the right price for us. What happens then?
Well, we've already heard in terms of the latest bid that Chelsea made where Caicedo thought that was a fair offer.
Yeah, but Caicedo is not...
It's already had that situation where he's pissed off because because Brighton have not accepted the latest bid and he thinks it's fair, not 100 million.
That's fine from Caicedo's perspective. Yeah. But Caicedo is an employee of Brighton. So what he thinks is fair don't really matter too much at the end of the day. This is what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand the whole concept of handing a transfer request, this, that, the other, because Brighton could just drag this on. They could make an example out of it. Because you know what's going to happen from Brighton's perspective? They're going to think, if this brother starts doing this, we've got Enciso, we've got Evan Ferguson, we've got this, that, the other, all lined up in the future. Mitoma, right? All these players that potentially going to get big transfer moves down the track. They can't let this be a precedent. Do you know what I mean?
So they're not going to play Caicedo?
I don't know. This is what I'm saying.
This is the thing.
Submit to the 80 million and give it to us.
Would you rather put him on the bench and not play him because he's turned toxic, and then you waste him, you haven't got your money, he's sitting there, he's not playing, his value goes down anyway. Everyone suffers. Or do you take the bullet? No, you've got enough good players. You think he doesn't want to be here. We're going to take 80 mil and just take what we can get because it's a fantastic deal.
But here's the thing, Younes. I think they have an understanding that he's not going to go toxic. If they had an understanding that he's about to go toxic,
now that's on the player. That's on the player, of course.
They get this impression that he will stay patient for this saga to pan out the way it pans out, and he won't kick up a fuss more than what he has already done, like in the sense that, hey, I'm a little bit disgruntled. 80 million was good enough. Why aren't you accepting it? And we'll keep it as that. But
before we get back to this, bro, breaking news.
You just seen what's happened.
Christopher Vivell has left Chelsea.
Left the club.
The head of global transfers, right?
He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't doing anything.
But do you know what? I'm gonna say this right now. I'm not surprised because
no, he's technical director, isn't he?
But he's been branched off into the global multi-club model side, and we don't have many clubs.
Not a good look.
We only have Strasbourg, so he's probably thinking, "You've brought me in too early for this because you don't even have a City Group model yet. You don't have loads of." So maybe he's going elsewhere. Maybe another club are interested. I don't know. You know, Bayern Munich have obviously sacked their entire hierarchy.
See, that's the thing. That doesn't.
So I don't know what's going on. But that's kind of mad. That's kind of mad.
Wow. Did that just drop now?
That just dropped. That just dropped now. I'm actually not that shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why. It doesn't feel that surprising. But it's very funny from our side of things, considering you only just came in.
All I'm gonna say is that he wasn't getting involved in any of
his name. At the moment, never coming up. Yeah, his name.
At the moment, it's all been Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart.
Yeah,
and I think there was a little bit of blame about more. And I think there was a little bit of blame that was going towards Vivell in the January window. Wasn't there some blame going towards him?
Also, Vivell wanted Nagelsmann.
He wanted Nagelsmann. I was going
to
say.
He wanted Nagelsmann as well.
Yes,
remember that?
Yes. That's the thing.
Yeah,
he
wanted Nagelsmann badly.
That whole manager situation. I think that's when he fell off.
Well, there is a thing as having too many cooks in the kitchen. We said that.
We said that.
That's true.
Yeah. We said that.
This could be a blessing in disguise, if you think.
Maybe it could be. Maybe it could be.
Wow. Anyway, back to Rick and Brighton.
I was just going to say, in terms of Brighton, I just saw a reminder on it, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? Do you remember Cucurella?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The day before we got him, what did Brighton post? Or was it?
He's not leaving. He's not leaving. Yeah, he's not leaving.
And then next thing you know, he's at Chelsea.
By then we had the here we go from Fabrizio. Remember, we already had the here we go from Fabrizio, and then Brighton came out and said it, and then Fabrizio said, "We'll see who lied." But in this case, that's not we haven't even got a here we go. Even Fabrizio has given up on reporting on Caicedo. He's like,
thank God, by the way. Jesus Christ, I was getting tired.
He's got no news.
There's no need. I think, listen, I'm not one to slag off Fabrizio. I've seen Fabrizio go from 50,000 followers to, I don't know how many he's on now, 20 million or whatever it is. Yeah. I understand what he's doing, and he's done an incredible job. He's literally changed the face of journalism, sports. He's made himself into a celebrity when it used to be, just this kind of...
He's doing club announcements.
Bro, he is clear, bro. Like, him and Ornstein are...
He's on FIFA now.
And I have to say... He's independent. People need to get this. He's independent. Ornstein is with the Athletic. So what Fab is doing is even more impressive because he's actually doing it independently.
Doing it by himself. And
he's doing his own Twitch stream,
he's Mbappe.
He's channel, sponsored by Heineken, every single connect. He is doing an incredible job. And this man is putting the work in. So love Fab for that. But
I reckon he's going to buy a football club.
Sometimes he gets so involved in the 16, 17-year-olds on Twitter that want updates. Fab, please. Pessi, Pinaldo. Please, Fab, update. No, Fab, you don't need to respond to these people. Please, leave them. They're deaf. They're not listening to you. You've already told them, so just leave it. Do you know what I mean? Move on. He's too concerned with constantly giving these people the update that they're craving. They don't need an update. They were told already. So it is what it is. But in regards to Caicedo, I'm glad he's not tweeting about it. There's nothing to tweet about. But I think there's and this is why I titled it calm down on the conclusions. I think after the game against Wrexham, there was this, I saw a few people starting to say, do we even need a midfielder? And I had to say, I said, are you lot smoking the strongest drug? Are you smoking crack? We don't need a midfielder. Like, people were starting to say we don't need a midfielder just because of the performance against Wrexham. And I was like, we need a midfielder. Yes. We need one. I've always said get one. I'm not one of these people that you have to get two, because I do want to see Santos. I do want to see Cassidy. I do want to see Carney. And I do think we should actually, and I do think, I said it even before that friendly, we need to give them minutes. We need to have faith. We need to develop them. We need to use them. Like, they cost money, 20 million a pop, some of them. But don't tell me we don't need a midfielder, because we do. There is no balance in that team. In that midfield, you've got Santos, who could be a DM. You need two. Caicedo would be a needle mover in regards of him signing. a needle mover. I think the transformation he would cause next to Enzo would be mad. Like, we would be on another level in terms of the first phase, in terms of defensively, off the ball, in terms of second phase. He can actually pass. Remember when he split our defense with that inside left channel pass and then it cut across, bang, goal. So top player, very nice, very, very good attributes to have, and kind of, dare I say it, kind of like gives me young kind of Kante vibes, but he's got a long way to go to get to that level. But he does give me those type of vibes. So he's a massive transfer to get done, and I still want us to get it done. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want us to walk away from the deal. I do want us to get the player. But if we have to do alternatives, is Lavia, like, who do you guys, because we have to get someone. Have to get
time
someone.
to get Zubimendi, man. Time to get Zubimendi, straight up. I always like Zubimendi. Yeah. I was watching quite a bit of Real Sociedad yesterday when his name started popping up, and his match against Barcelona, I still remember last season. Barcelona, I don't think will be going for him. Time to get him, man. I think he'll do a very, very good job. I can't really think of anyone else. Ugarte was going to be a good selection.
People are saying Amrabat as well.
Amrabat, I think he's moving towards Man United. Man United trying to
either La Liga or Man United. But
is he going to Man? Is Amrabat Manchester?
Well, apparently the conversation.
They're interested. They're interested.
And I think there's some conversations going there. And I think Amrabat's agent has also shown keenness towards Man United. So I don't want to get into a whole of this bidding war and this, that. Like, there's not much being talked about. Zubimendi, yes. Zubimendi wanted to, well, I think Barcelona wanted Zubimendi, and I think Xavi as well wanted Zubimendi, but they don't have the money to get all of this done. Let's just get him now. Let's get him in now. The issue is, I think Real Sociedad's in Champions League. So I'm
pretty sure he rejected an exit to Arsenal before. So I
think so, and I think he might be waiting around for Barca. So he's got Champions League to look forward to. He'll wait around for Barca. But if we can entice him to join our Premier League is lucrative league as well. So
I still want Caicedo. Tchouameni's not going to happen. I still want Caicedo. But I said last week on this show, I wanted Caicedo to be moving along. And do you know what? Forget moving along. I want it to be done before we play them. Because we were meant to be doing all this behind the scenes talks 6 weeks, and I was like, do you know what, I'm going to be calm. Maybe we're just preparing a bid that gets accepted. Then we hear this bid's been rejected privately a week later. Then we hear that bid was rejected 70 million privately a week later. My patience for this deal is thinning, because we there's not really any excuses now. Like, there are players to move on. Malang Sarr, you can do that on deadline day. Lukaku, he's going to have to move himself. All right, he's gonna have to literally find his own
another
club.
stupid individual.
He needs to Lukaku needs to go on FIFA, create a club, and purchase himself. That's what he needs to do, because that's the only way he's gonna find an exit. Right? He needs to do what Kante did and just purchase a club. Purchase a club and then transfer yourself there, and then you'll have no problem signing the paperwork. Ziyech, again, we can get that done. We need to get a midfielder in. Once a midfielder comes in, I'm actually cool. I think centre backs wise, it's up for debate for some people, but I don't think it's a pressing issue, like where we have to move absolutely right now. Humphreys was good. Maybe he could be a fifth choice. You never know.
What do you think about Pellegrini? What do you think about Pellegrini, Matisse?
For Fulham, they want 60 million.
Oh, what's wrong with these people? Honestly, what's wrong with
Did you see Decore at Crystal Palace? They quoted 70 million from Liverpool. So this is why with Caicedo, I'm like,
Abdoulaye Decore, the guy who was in Everton.
Mm-hmm. Is that the same guy? Yeah. 70 million.
Is it the same guy? It is the same guy, isn't it? Yeah.
70 million.
Is that the same guy?
No.
Bro, who's doing these price tags, bro?
We know Vivell's left. We're going to get to Vivell. There's a lot going on right now. Apologies. We're going to get to Vivell in a minute. I got to go through super chats. Just steady on there. Don't worry. We gonna get to everybody gonna eat today. Okay, we cooking today. Everybody gonna eat. Decore, they're not the same guy. Thank God, it's not the same guy. It's not the same guy.
He's nice.
It's a different guy. So it's not even Abdoulaye Decore, the guy that we know. It's not even the guy that we know.
No.
It's a different guy.
This is some new Decore.
70 million.
Another Decore.
Yeah,
and he's already 70 million.
He's played 34 games for Palace,
and he's 70 million.
And now he's 70 mil.
Out.
So, wow. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, listen, I would like to get the deal done. There are other players. I rate Lavia. I've said it before. I rate Lavia. I think Lavia, if he was at Brighton, he would be worth a lot of money. In that system, playing that style of football, showing his qualities, I think he'd be worth a lot of money. So
How much do Southampton want? 50?
Mad. 50 million is mad.
I think they want more.
Mad.
I think they want more. Do you remember? We screwed ourselves over in the Lavia deal because we bid 50 million on deadline day before
That was stupid. That was stupid.
Yeah.
That was stupid. That was Todd Bowley.
That was some foolishness.
That was Todd Bowley, the sporting director who sacked himself in January.
There are a lot of midfielders on the market still. Yeah, there are. I've heard about Verratti, PSG. He could be leaving. I'm not.
Nah, he's too injury prone, but
I'm not really too keen. He is very injury prone, I think, as well.
So we get Kimmich and just pay 300k a week.
What makes us think Kimmich is going to come to us?
Kimmich is not coming to us, bro.
I mean, he's leaving. So
yeah, but he ain't coming to us. That's not happening. So I don't know, man. People are saying Mbappe was left out of PSG squad tonight.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that's the breaking news. Mbappe. Yeah, he's not coming to Chelsea.
They said they wanted a decision soon, isn't it? I don't think PSG understands.
What happened with that Manu Kone guy? The guy from Gladbach.
He's not a sitting midfielder.
No.
Oh, is he? I don't know who he is. I just
from Mönchengladbach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a sitting midfielder. He can't come in and play that role. So
you know what? With Caicedo and this whole Brighton stuff tonight, yeah, I've just had like a little bit of a reflection, step out the box sort of moment. I think they're desperate.
Custom again.
Yeah, I think
they are desperate.
I think Brighton are desperate. Why would he be talking like this if he wasn't desperate, right? If they weren't desperate and they had literally, they knew that everything was under control, he would have dismissed everything immediately. But he didn't. Why? I think they're desperate.
They're worried, of course, Younes, because he is a top level player for them, right? So as what's his name? Zerbi said it in the press conference that if he does leave, we need to replace him with the same quality, same level of quality. I'm pretty sure they'll find it. I'm sure their scouting networks already unearthed the next 100 million midfielder. But yeah, look, for me, honestly, it's now turning it very sour with Brighton. I think there is a limit. If they are hell-bound on the 100 million, I say we move away. We need to understand. We have to ask Brighton, what is it? Would you do a deal at 80 million? Because I think 3 bids have been rejected by us, right? Up until 70 million, it's all been rejected. So this is the... What happened to the David Ornstein one? Remember the one that he said at 60 million? That first one at 60 million that we bid? Where we really tried to lowball them.
Apparently, as of yesterday, there's a 3rd bid coming, but it's not been made. I don't know.
This is where I'm disappointed because we're meant to be coming with the serious, significant, important bid. That's what Thabz said. So where's this significant, serious bid? Because 60 million was never going to get him. We know this. So while listen, I was cool with the whole negotiating up in increments, but now Poch is saying that he wants his players ASAP.
Yeah,
so
he wants
time to stop faffing around now and bring the player in and pay.
Well, either that. Well, pay them 100 mil.
No.
So you're saying that he's paid 100
No. We know how 100. Hold on. We know how 100 million deals work. It's not all up front, right? You pay a significant amount up front, negotiate that, get that sorted. It's going to have to be 100 million in total. Yes, we're not getting away from that. But you do it in installments based on winning the Premier League, all these different add-ons. Cool. We're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to do that if we want the player. We know what midfielders are going for these days. Tough shit. That's just how it is. But don't come with this 60 million in July the 21st, 70 million July the 21st. This is not going to get accepted. We need this player in the door so we can start. We only got how many preseason games left? We got Fulham, we got Dortmund. So or Miz move on to a different target. But who's the other target? I don't know. If this is your only target, then get the player because we have to get a midfielder.
I hear what you're saying, Matisse. I understand. Like I was contemplating few weeks ago when they wanted, I think Brighton said, you either give us 100 million and you get your installment structure the way you wanted, which is 4 installments, or you give us 80 million upfront right now, right here, and without any sort of installment structure and whatnot. You give us cash right now.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea wants some sort of flexibility because 80 million up front like that, we don't even have a shirt sponsor. We need some money. Like, we don't have a shirt sponsor. So we're doing it tough. And with all the young kids that we've bought, so we've been spending money as well. The way I look at it is I don't want to create this precedent because every club out there has taken us for a ride, since the new ownership has taken over because they're like, well, who was it recently that said, PSG owner, right?
boys, Younes, I think you might be across this one. PSG owner Khalifi said that.
So Khalifi.
What's Chelsea talking about? Trying to penny pinch when that Ugarte situation was going on. You spent 600 million. But don't act like you don't have money. You give money. You give money to everyone.
We are like Man United to these clubs. But remember when we talk about Man United, we're like, yo, pay up because you spend. Anthony, Maguire, Sancho. So don't pretend like you ain't got money. Pay this money. That's us right now to Brighton. They're like, yo, pay this money. Yeah. We saw what you spent on Madrid. Pay this money. So we can't sit here and say, oh, Caicedo's only done a year. If we really want him, we have to pay. We've set a precedent. So we have not a president. I wish we had a president right now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you get the deal done. We've set a precedent. So we are not one of these, smart, clever clubs that we spend money. But people are saying about the Rice deal, right? He's mentioned the Rice deal a lot of times. They're benching it off that. The Rice deal is 100 million, but it's in installments. I think it's like one installment every 18 months, or it's something like that. Million. So it's a guaranteed 105 fixed fee, but it's broken up into 3 installments. That's why. So you could do it that way. So you are paying, but you don't have to pay it all this year, which means it doesn't go into this financial year. If that's the way we have to do it. So maybe you spread it out over 4 installments over 2 years each window. I don't know.
To counter that, someone really made a smart comment the other day on my video, because I was contemplating this as well, Matisse. I was like, do we pay the 80 up front or do we pay the 100 broken down in 4 parts, right? Someone said to me, and it actually woke me up a little. He said, Miz, these owners don't become rich by paying over. That's not a deal. If there is a deal for 80 million, there is a deal for 80 million. I'm not going to pay 100 million, even though it's broken down in 4 pieces. Yeah. I'm still paying you 20 million more. They don't become rich this way by paying more. They become rich by paying less. That's what they do. This is how you become rich and wealthy, because you're stingy. So, yeah, man, like for us fans, yeah, that looks mad. That looks great business. Do it. But in essence, you're paying 20 million more. So
this is the thing. Yeah. There's one caveat as well that I think we have to remember. And this was made public, and I don't know why. Well, maybe in public, Zerbi doesn't want to say anything, but I think everyone knows. There was an agreement, wasn't there, towards the player? You can say like a handshake. That, if it came to the summer and a nice bid came in, we'd let you go. Not a problem, right? And that was meant to be the rumored fee of around 70-ish.
I think 80. Right? I think 80 was
80.
Sort of like...
Let's call it 80. No, but if Chelsea know that, they ain't budget from 80.
You know what has to happen, Younes, is because of the Rice stuff that took place. Brighton are like, this is the new standard now. This is the new standard.
Thing is, though, and someone said in the comments, Rice did 5 years. 5 years.
This is the thing. I agree.
Rice did 5 years, and 2 of those years was jail time because he wanted to leave a long time ago. He did 2 years in prison, 3 years outside playing basketball. This guy went through it. So it's not really a fair comparison, to be honest, from Brighton.
Brighton think Caicedo is better than Rice, though.
They do.
Brighton
they do. And to be honest, I think Caicedo is top. He's top notch. I think he's top notch. I know he's only done a season, but what I saw in that season was top notch. We're talking about someone that's press resistant, can dictate tempo, can pass, can tackle, can intercept, that can progress, that can play right back if you need him to, has the intelligence at that young age to change position. Let's not sit here and pretend like we ain't moving for some special talent people. We're not moving for just any midfielder. This is a very, very, very good midfielder that we're moving on. Yeah. So I think we'll see the benefits, but it's a drawn out process that needs to come to an end, and one way or another.
What's your verdict? Get the deal done.
For me, go and get him. Go and get the deal done.
Whatever the price, just get it done.
Bro, go get the deal done, because you know what it is? People only think about the fee if the player flops. I don't think he'll flop. So because I'm so confident in him, go and get the player. And for me, I'm almost now thinking, do you know what? I feel sorry for him. He's got a shit agent and he wants to leave. So now I really want to get him out. But yeah, I don't know, man. Also, I'm looking at alternatives as well. Like Paulinho at 60. It's not a great price for someone that's 28. Paulinho, 1 season in the Prem. I don't like that price. Decore is moving for 70. Lavia is moving for minimum 60 because of what we did last summer. It's not like as if the other players are moving cheap. Someone mentioned Goretzka. Don't want him at all. 50 million, no, not the profile we need. That's terrible recruitment if we look at someone like that. So it's not like as if the alternatives are cheap, and it's not like the alternatives are better players. So for me, we have to pay, and this is why moving forward we do have to watch what we do in the window. Don't spill out all the information like we did last summer. You know, don't spend crazy money like 600 in 1 year. You know, this is the consequence of doing that. But for me personally, I think the talent's worth it, so I go and get the player, because I can't be sitting here against Liverpool with a midfield of, okay, we got Santos, Cassidy, Enzo, and Gallagher as the double pivot options. No. We need I'm not on that.
We need someone world class.
That's extremism. That's like two midfielders was like maybe taking it a bit too far without seeing the players first. And no midfielders is another level of extremism of just playing Russian roulette. You know what I'm saying, with the Premier League? Because when De Bruyne's in the half spaces now, and Foden is in the half spaces, is now Andre Santos gonna have to clean up that mess? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's not no joke. So,
but you know, there's a situation with this whole deal, and this is gonna sound mad because we do need the player ASAP. But in context, I think there is still a tiny bit of time, right, where Chelsea can just wait a sec and see what happens, rather than go all in now. Because if we're talking about setting precedents, it would look pretty crazy for us to go through this whole saga with Brighton, and then in the end, here's 100 mil. You know, but if
it don't look good, it doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good for future deals, and clubs know that. If we take them to the limit, they're gonna fold. Yep. We are with Brighton right now, unlike any other transfer we've had. The closest we had, I think, was Enzo, and we managed to get that done in the end because of deadline day. But with this whole saga, it's like a poker game. When you're too far in, you're too far gone. Like you just got to go all the way now, man. That's it. There's no going back. Like you've bet 1,500.
You're all in.
Like it's a case of, well, am I going to put my car in it now? Am I going to put my house? Is my missus going on the table? Like, what's going on? Like, you're going to have to consider those things. You can't just go, no, after betting all that, no, I'm gonna fold. You can't. You just can't. You're just gonna have to chance it. With Chelsea now,
Where are the misses in, bro? Where are the misses in?
We're at that stage with Brighton now, where we're so far into this negotiation, and both are like, it's like a cowboy, duel, where all of a sudden it's just like flipping. What's his face? Who's the famous Western movie stars? I forgot their flipping names. My mind's gone. But it's like someone's gonna shoot. And who's it gonna be? Because we got to shoot first.
Clint Eastwood.
There we are. Clint Eastwood and all them, man. it's them. This is it. So who's gonna shoot first? So it's a case of it's the Wild West right now on this negotiating table, and we can't lose. We're too far gone. We just got to ride this through and get Caicedo for 80 mil. And look, if there's anyone that's gonna fold, is it Chelsea or Brighton? I'd like to think it should be Brighton.
Younes, I've been saying the same thing, that we are neck deep. We are neck deep on this. Like, almost now nose. I can't breathe anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, nose deep. So, but having said that, it's what you said, Younes. If we fold for 100 million now,
it doesn't look good going forward.
Can the other alternative is we don't get the player? That also makes us look stupid as well.
We get a great player.
We wasted 7 weeks.
But at least what you can say, Matisse, then, do you know what? We held firm. We did everything possible. We gave him. I'm waiting for the third bid. I'm waiting to see how the third bid is. The people are saying to me the third bid is going to be 80 plus a 10 million add-on to get it to about 90. I think that is a superb deal for Caicedo.
On top of that, if
Tony Bloom disagrees,
F you, Tony Bloom.
No, if that's timed right with how we're seeing this whole Caicedo situation now, we give that just a little bit more time to marinate. Let him and Brighton kick off in between themselves, and then with a little bit, okay, look, here's 80 plus 10. And I think at that point, Brighton will actually consider, rather than us going now, for example, when the chances are they're probably going to say no because they think they got leverage. Let this situation marinate for maybe a couple of days. Let Caicedo himself, maybe after we actually play them, what's going to happen tomorrow night? It's probably going to be all guns blazing.
It's all going to kick. I want it to kick off.
I would find it very weird if Caicedo plays. He needs to stay home, just stay in the hotel. I would find it very strange.
If he does play, I want Enzo to take his Chelsea shirt and put it on top of Caicedo.
Oh.
I want it to, because the players are allowed to get spicy. Because as far as I'm concerned, Lallana was leaving emojis. So I want the players to get spicy. Yeah, you can get spicy. For me, the managers, you're bridging the. You're kind of speaking on behalf of the ownership. You're speaking on behalf of the club. Like, you got to hold yourself in a certain. But the players, I remember seeing Barcelona players sitting up at the press conferences. Yeah, we'd like Fabregas at Arsenal. Yeah, we'd like Suarez at Liverpool. Yeah, come listen. When we're on that pitch, make it spicy. Yeah, don't get injured now, but make it spicy.
And I hope Caicedo doesn't play. I hope he doesn't play, man.
Cucurella recently in the press conference said as well, like he would like to have Caicedo in the team.
They wanted to play games with Colwill. We'll play games with Caicedo. But for me, we have to win this game now on tomorrow, because I'm not gonna lie to you.
Be mad.
It's not a friendly. It's not a friendly. Just don't get injured and make it spicy and win.
We're not friends. We're not friends.
This can I just say, after this deal, I don't want to hear about this club again. Done. I don't want to hear about Sanchez in goal.
Bro.
I don't want to hear about Matoma.
Never,
I don't want to hear about none of it.
Never.
This is the last transaction. This needs to. I want. You know when Ferguson,
you don't exist for us. You don't exist.
Ferguson kicked the journalists out of the press conferences for a while. You know, Brighton, we're done with you now for a while. Yeah, no more back and forth. Don't talk to us about the Cobham talents. You see, when we produce someone and you want to bring them in on a cheap fee, hold that. Yeah, no, not happening. So for me, this needs to be the last transaction. Get this 100. One done and then part ways. This is a Tottenham Daniel Levy thing. You know what I mean? We don't do business anymore unless someone's moving on a free. That's it.
You know what's mad? I never thought I'd quote Ty ever, but I hope Brighton get relegated. I hope, man. Get out. Leave.
It's mad.
I never thought that phrase would actually come to some sort of sense, and for us. But what I will say is it's very, very important tomorrow's fixture off the pitch, because in the same stadium, in the same stand, you're probably going to get the Chelsea hierarchy and the Brighton hierarchy. And if they really all want to, they can sort it out right there and then.
100.
They're all in the same place. Egbali's there. The directors are there. Tony Bloom is there. Their directors are there. Caicedo's there. Chelsea's there. Brighton's there. Mate, get everyone into a room.
But get the agents as well. Get the agents as well. Get them all in.
Get them all into the room. They're all going to be there tomorrow. Get it all sorted tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I want us to destroy Brighton 6-0, and I want an announcement done that Caicedo's on his way to Chelsea, and there's an agreement
100.
in place. It has to happen. If it doesn't happen after tomorrow night, by Sunday going into Monday, an agreement's not been done, then what hope is there?
Can I just say, I'm actually just remembering, before we move on, I'm going to go through super chats. We're going to move on to Christopher Vivell properly, but I remember last summer, Brighton actually coming out and saying how happy they were with the way the negotiations went between them and Todd Bowie and Egbali in terms of the Cucurella deal and just the way that we did our deal, the way that we did our negotiations. They said we were very open, transparent.
Very professional.
I'm like, why me for? Like 50 Cent. Like, why you coming for me for? Like, I don't understand. You maybe do this with Arsenal. I don't know, like any other club. Why are you beefing us? I don't get it. But anyway, let's go through the super chats. We move on anyway. Can't believe I had to spend a whole hour cussing out Brighton, man. That's crazy.
Too much attention. Way too much attention.
Brighton, it's crazy, man. The Zerbi's moving mad disrespectful. Simon, appreciate the super chat. Wish you would put some words on that. I wanted to read out a comment for you. I want Brighton to be destroyed so bad in the first half that Caicedo comes out in a Chelsea shirt in the second half. I think we deserve it. I really do. I would love that, bro. I would absolutely love it. I don't think any team's getting smashed. I think it's gonna be a very good game, but we need to win. Ash says Brighton tapping up your best players down bad. Yeah, we might have to start tapping up now. You know what I mean? If that's how the game goes, then you know what I mean. Rice went for 100 million because Enzo went for 120. These are the consequences of your actions. Well, I want to tell you that Pogba went for a lot as well before, so it's not just us. So yeah,
you need to understand
for playing the blame game.
I need to say something right here because I see a few of these stuff floating around on Twitter, especially Enzo at 120 million. I think you lot don't understand what level of a player he is. Honestly, like to the rival fans, here's a message just for you. Here's a message.
I'm saying it right now.
Enzo Fernandez is like one of the best right now already. And he's what, 21, 22? 120 million is going to look like peanuts if one day eventually he wants to move elsewhere down the track once he's done his hard yards at Chelsea. I reckon he's going to go for at least 300, 400 million down the track. I'm not even kidding.
And to be fair, that 120 was a release clause, wasn't it?
That was the release clause.
Yeah.
That was the release clause. So what could we have done? Do you know what I mean? Benfica's smart. Like they ensured that there was a high price that was there on his head. They knew what level of a player he is. He's a world champion. You lot saw how he moved in the World Cup. This guy's going to be the face of Argentina.
You know what I've clocked? People are not watching Enzo. They're watching the scoreline.
They're not
maybe some sofa score ratings, but even that, I don't think Enzo is even under. Like, I don't think he's even poor on those. People are not watching Enzo. If you watch Enzo's vision of passing, his execution of passing, you're saying, if he plays for any other club, you're saying, wow, what a player. If he's playing for Real Madrid, you're like, wow. If he's playing for Arsenal, wow. Playing for Liverpool, wow. It's because he plays for Chelsea, and we were absolutely horrendous last season. Yeah. So nobody was going to catch any praise. Doesn't matter if they're playing well in a bad team, doesn't matter. When you're losing at home to Southampton and you're drawing at home to Everton, you ain't going to get no praise. And I ain't even looking for it. I don't care. I'm just here to tell you that Enzo is one hell of a player. If you don't know it, you're going to see it. So that's my thing. But this is one of the actual players that I say that we have that can actually go into Real Madrid's teams and Man City teams, and like I genuinely.
So is this Iceman actually a Chelsea fan?
I genuinely believe if we didn't sign him, he'd be playing for those. Like they would have moved on him. They would have definitely gone in for that guy. 100%.
Matisse, is this Iceman Chelsea fan or is he some other fan?
I don't. Sometimes I do ask that question.
He is a fan.
Me and him have a love-hate relationship.
He's a fan.
Yeah, me and him we have a
disrespect he's giving to Enzo.
Do you know what? Iceman is now in the chat purely just so we can just say that he's got horrendous.
That he exists. That he exists. We can say that he exists.
Like, I don't know how to phrase this, but you know when you just got someone that usually anybody else you'd block him, but he has made himself this kind of character now that we just have to have him here. But
antagonist.
He's crazy. Like he's crazy, but he has to be here because it's consistency. But the whole chat is getting onto him as usual, and I ain't got no problem with that because his opinions are just crazy. So it is what it is. Wow. But yeah, it's mad.
There is one thing I want to mention about Vivell leaving. Is that because apparently it wasn't unexpected, and as much as he wanted Nagelsmann and wanted Felix, but does this open up the door now for a Paul Mitchell or Michael Edwards to come in?
I think so. But Younes, you know what? We have to be very careful as to what that role entails. Like, because no point in bringing in, like, I can hire you, Younes, but you come into the office first day. What's my role? What do I do? I don't know, but I hired you. You figure it out.
That's literally the equivalent of you hiring Younes, and he's got all these qualifications. He can do this, he can do that, experience. And you say, actually, brother, I actually just need you to just take the bins out.
I was going to say, brother, I just like you because you look good.
I actually don't have a job for you. We just wanted to have you in the office to walk around.
I'm just a new poster boy.
Yeah, you're just really just here to just
a money mace.
Oh, I like it. He's an op now. All right, let's keep going. Please just pay the 100 million for Tchouaméni. Who said Tchouaméni joining? Like, who said he wants to join us? Like, Chelsea.
Matisse, did you start this? Was this started
by
you?
I need to say something. I need to come out with a statement. I know that I want Tchouaméni, right? But I actually need to say this. We're not getting him, by the way. Like, this is not actually a realistic. This was more of a dream that I just told you guys. Because, it's a community of all friends. I just wanted to tell you my dreams and my hopes, my ambitions. But it's not actually reality. Like, this is the equivalent of me telling you that, I'm going to be with Maya Jama. It's just not true. It's just not true. My girlfriend, hopefully she's not watching, but this is just not true.
I was going to say.
Check your message, bro. Check your message.
It's just not, it's not true. So don't talk about Tchouaméni like we can actually get him, because we finished 12th and he plays for Real Madrid. If he is leaving, I can assure you he ain't coming to us. Unfortunately, I can assure you he's not coming to us. But I don't think he's going anywhere.
He's not leaving, Real Madrid don't let go of superstars, bro. They're Galactica for a reason.
Yeah.
Real Madrid will add Mbappe with Tchouaméni, like the French connection. Do you know what I mean? So
I was just going to say, Mbappe is now officially for sale. So are we moving or not?
no.
You said like proper
So
mafia.
serious.
Like, yo, are we moving on the target?
Are we moving or not?
That felt like James Bond, like when we had that script back and forth. We're like, yo, are we moving on the target or what?
006, you have a new mission.
Do you
We're
know
not
what?
even willing to pay 100 million for Caicedo. How much do you think?
But it actually pains me, right? It actually pains me to tell you that we can't move for these guys, like, and you know that. But we should be able to. Like, we as Chelsea, we should be able to be like, yeah, let's bid for Mbappe, even though we're not Real Madrid.
We can, if we want to, we can.
Yeah,
it would destroy everything, but we can.
Yeah, but we should be able to move like Arsenal fans. Robbie and Turkish are talking about if he doesn't go to Real Madrid, Arsenal is the next best option. That's how they're talking. What? And the fact that they're talking like
they're
that,
give him 500k a week or whatever it asks.
The fact that they have the chest to talk, I'm calling them out.
I can't wait till Arteta
the fact that they have
sacked.
the chest to talk like that.
I pray Arteta gets sacked this season. I pray.
They're talking like
mate,
that with no European heritage, not a singular big ears trophy in their museum, and they're talking like that. But they feel like they can because they got confidence and they qualify for Champions League. I wish we could have the same confidence. We can't even have that confidence.
They're also moving mad. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna pray every day, 2 rak'ah extra, and pray that Arteta gets sacked. Seriously, I'm praying he does. Arsenal needs humbling as well, man. They've lost their head too.
Oh my god. Some people are putting in more Zerbi quotes. I really hope that they're fake because I'm trying to move on, but I'm gonna circle back if anything else comes out. This apparently you proposed a Colwill Caicedo swap deal. Yeah, I think we spoke about that earlier. Mostly just to spite Brighton for thinking they are Madrid, but also because he's a great alternative. Listen, Tchouaméni would actually be my first choice if I was in Dream World. I would pick him as my first choice because I think he can also play as a single pivot player in a 3, which I'm we haven't seen Caicedo really do. But like I said, ain't gonna happen. Of course, I think we should offer Cassidy on loan. Listen, we're gonna get to that part because there's a lot going on after that Wrexham game, and there's a few. If I was to segregate this into sections, I would say Ian Matson, Angelo and Diego are all fighting for a potential wing spot. Probably one left because we've already got 3 first teamers. I think Cassidy, Lewis Hall, Santos are fighting for midfield spots because Gallagher's obviously either sold or he's staying. He ain't going on loan or whatever. So I think there's a 5 players or so that are fighting for their lives, and they're not all going to be able to stay because that's just too many of them, and they're not going to get minutes. So they're competing. Because I think Chilwell and Cucurella, they look like they're both staying. So we don't need 3 left backs. Ian Matson's going to have to become the next Saka or I don't know. So, yeah, I think there are players fighting between themselves for these places, and whoever wins.
Do you know what? Obviously, we're gonna wait till the end of pre-season, but if they continue the way people have been saying, Miz, calm down, it was Wrexham. I understand it was Wrexham, but I'm looking at the individual performances, how sharp some of them looked. Forget about the opposition. You can only do what you can do, what is in front of you, right? I'm talking about some of the footballing IQ that I saw. The way Nicholas Jackson, when he received that ball and he attacked space. How often did we see Havertz run into crowd? Do you know what I mean? Like Nicholas Jackson attacked where there was empty space, then laid it off to Ian Martin. Andre Santos consistently from that deep midfield position was looking to thread passes through the middle. Cassidy looking to dribble whenever he has the chance to break through, the lanes. We have to look at those things. If they continue in this vein, and also
Angelo Gabriel. I swear to you guys, he actually blew my mind in the second half. He actually did. The way how seamlessly he was moving from that right side into central areas and opening his body up to open up all different angles of passing.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, he's just doing it so comfortably. So obviously I want to see him, all of these players, what they do against Brighton, Newcastle, Fulham, Dortmund. But you know what, Matisse, Younes, don't be surprised if some of them actually end up staying. Like, I know we are already making a judgment that maybe Santos or Casady, one of them will go. Don't be surprised if both stay. If they both impress.
I'm cool with selling Gallagher and keeping both of them and signing Caicedo. That's the 4. I'm cool with that.
Because Gallagher at the moment, out of all of them, like Enzo, Casady, Santos, and I don't know, hopefully we get Caicedo. Gallagher, out of all of that names that I've just dropped, he probably doesn't have enough ingredients like them. They all have something more than just running around. We need more than just running around, right? So I think Gallagher probably will move on. Even up front, Madueke probably needs some level of competition. He shouldn't just get an easy run. If someone like Angelo Gabriel can showcase, hey, this is the level that we kind of need on that right side, it's good competition for Madueke. And someone like Ian Martin, I just feel like you can use him in so many different positions, man. Anywhere in that left side, wing back, left mid, left wing.
Same goes for Lewis Hall. Lewis Hall, brilliant crosser of the ball last season, putting balls into dangerous areas.
I think Lewis Hall has played less football though, Matisse. Ian Martin's played more football.
But Lewis Hall played in the first team last year, and in some big games.
I don't mind him going on alone.
Played against Man United, played against Man City.
True.
In an ideal world, you just make 100 million on Chilwell and Cucurella. I'm gonna keep it a buck. just make 100 million on both of those and keep it stepping with the two youngsters that didn't cost a penny, but it is what it is. I think. Listen, I've already expressed my concerns about Gallagher multiple times technically, but I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up staying for the experience because obviously we've got such a young team and he's maybe more experienced now having played at West Brom, Palace, now Chelsea a season. So I'm not even expecting him to go unless a serious 50 million offer comes in, which I would love. But yeah, I think for me, I ain't got no problem with Angelo staying if he impresses. Maatsen, I'd love to stay, but some of them will have to go. As long as we don't sell Lewis Hall, I'm cool. I think to sell him would be ludicrous. Like,
I don't think we'll sell him. I'm just concerned that if you stay, are you going to get enough minutes?
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I'm worried about. I don't want to stagnate his growth. I don't want to stagnate his growth. But I do want to say, I think Pochettino, he's coming with a mindset that no game is a Mickey Mouse game here. Every game is serious, and I want to go as far as possible in the cup competition. So if you want to do that in the cup competition, you have to have quality in the cup matches. So, I don't have any issues with having all of these players around and getting those cup matches as well, and the odd minutes off the bench and the odd starts here and there. And then hopefully the way, Angelo Gabriel, he was talking, like he showed Chelsea quality the way, I don't know if you saw the quote. He was like, I'm here to help out Chelsea to get it back into Champions League and start winning Premier League. I'm like, brother, calm yourself down, but I love it. So, hopefully we make back into Champions League. Top 5, right? It's not top 4 anymore.
Top 5, I'm sure, I think so. Big up the community man, Grizz, in the chat as well. The NYPD is in the building. Listen, I think Santos... It was always like Cassidy would potentially go out on loan to Leicester. He's been linked to other clubs as well. If he keeps impressing, he's got this physical frame, height, power, speed, that lovely little step over. I want to see it against higher.
What about that pass, bro?
That pass. I want to see that against Brighton.
His vision is mad.
To do it against Wrexham, but then to do it against Brighton is another level. But if he can keep doing that, I think that's good balance because we lack a lot of height in that midfield, I agree. But Santos is the only one that at the moment is playing in the first phase. We don't want Enzo to be a DM. Santos is looking aggressive, a bit of shithousery. First phase look comfortable. So I think he's definitely going to potentially end up staying purely because we don't have anybody else there to play that. Unless it's Enzo.
And he was guiding the play. He was instructing. He was like, move forward, go there, come back. I was like, wow, he's 18?
100%. 100%.
So isn't it?
I think, So I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll go on, Younes.
I was just going to say, no, this might actually testify to some really good scouting, like eventually. Maybe not now because it just started, but maybe down the line we'll be looking back at this and going, "Yo, we scouted well." Hopefully, because we've not said that in years. So,
I'm not gonna lie, but this is why I was so. When I put out a video saying I don't want Viagra, you know that Spanish youth. I said I don't want him, and
I was gonna say you don't want Viagra.
I don't want Viagra. That's what I said.
No, brother, you're not.
I don't usually rant. But I said legitimately I don't want Viagra, and people are like, do you know what? I also said I haven't really watched him, and it's not really against the player so much because sometimes statistics can lie depending on the system where he's playing, and maybe he's better than I think he is, and I just don't know him. And I was like, do you know what? Maybe I'm being too hard on Viagra. Maybe he can penetrate.
Maybe I'm too hard.
Yeah,
maybe hard on Viagra.
Maybe I just need to, stop getting up in my feelings because I am doing a disservice here. I'm judging. But you know what? I thought, no, fuck Viagra. Like
I'm a good myself.
Unless the player is special, we actually don't need to sign another decent attacking midfielder because that's what he is right now. He's decent. He scored some goals in La Liga, cool, but he's not Turkey. He's not, the Ecuadorian brother we just got. Like he's not that kind of player. He's not like a whoa. So I'm like, we have Cassidy, we have Carney, we have Santos, we have young midfielders. Use them, because if the player we're bringing in is not a needle mover, if he's not this mad, unthinkable, crazy talent, then why are we bothering? And that's what I always felt. And that's where that was really coming from. Less so of, I hate Viagra. Because sometimes Viagra can be useful. That was my point. But, and that's how I always
believe.
Especially if you're considering retirement.
You best believe.
But yeah, I think so. For me, I'm glad that I'm not seeing links to him anymore. But yeah, listen, on Christopher Vivell, I think this is quite obvious why. I think there was a bust up. People are reporting that there was potentially arguments between directors, and like we said, he didn't get Nagelsmann. Apparently, he may have wanted Felix, and he didn't get him. Anyone. Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, no. I will say this to testify for the whole situation on Vivell. I will say a massive thank you to Vivell. Because the one thing he done at Chelsea during his very short time was get rid of Graham Potter. So for that, well done, mate.
Yeah, he was.
Well, yeah, you know what? That's true. He's the one that said, you know what? I'm not sure.
Let's have a meeting.
Yeah. And for that, we thank you. Yeah. I do wonder, would we be in this position had Colwill been integrated from the beginning? Decisions from a certain manager are hurting us now. Decisions from I guess.
People want to slam Tuchel non-stop, man. You guys are so ungrateful, man. Honestly, so ungrateful. I can't. Nah, man. End the show, bro. I've had enough, bro. Seriously, bro. This is the last thing I wanted to see, man. People are so disrespectful towards Thomas Tuchel, man. Like, you don't
listen. I said this before. Every manager has their weaknesses. So Alex Ferguson wasn't on the training pitch coaching, doing systems and Pep Guardiola tactics. That wasn't him. Klopp, maybe sometimes he gets a bit too rude in press conferences and he's a bit emotional. Maybe Tuchel is not the best recruiter or the best eye for talent in terms, he's not a scout. Every manager has their weaknesses, right? Sometimes Pep decides he doesn't need Rodri in a Champions League final. It can happen. My point is that with him, he was in a position he didn't want to be in. He said it from the get-go. I don't want to do this. And you're forcing me to do this because you've had a situation where you sacked everybody and you want to bring in new people, but they're not here yet. And now you need me to step up. After having a very stressful year, having, max amount of COVID players and not having any breaks in terms of they caught COVID over the Christmas period, max amount of games. We went to 2 finals, latter stage of the Champions League, Premier League, Club World Cup, won 2 trophies, had to deal with Lukaku. People don't talk about the context of what Tuchel had to deal with mentally, and then we don't even talk about personally with his family and his wife. Yeah. So when we talk about Tuchel, I agree with you. We need to have some respect. Even if you don't agree with everything he did, please have some respect. If you don't understand that guy put absolutely everything into this club in a very
he loved Chelsea, bro. He loved Chelsea.
Club and did some fantastic things in a very short space of time. Made a team that, let's be honest, had no right to really win the Champions League. You go through it, Werner, Havertz,
especially now we look back at it,
and he did it, and he put it together systematically. Come on, the guy was. If he made a couple errors in the window, because he's not a scout, I can let that go.
Tell me which manager hasn't made a couple of errors, bro.
Yeah,
Tell me which manager hasn't made them.
Exactly. So can we have some respect, guys? That's what I'm asking.
I've got to do it properly, man. You got to do it properly. Respect, respect,
guys. And I'm never changing that stance. Even though, yes, and this is from someone that disagreed. I wanted Colwill to stay. I disagreed with him. I didn't want Gallagher to play in a 2 double pivot. I disagreed with Tuchel there. It didn't take Gilmore in preseason. Disagreed again. Like I'm not this. Oh, everything Tuchel did was perfect. But respect. A wise man once said, "Run me my money. Practice what you preach. Big up." And looking forward to the mighty Chelsea visit in the Emirates. I don't know when you guys are on the calendar, but I'm thinking about right now Tottenham. That's that Poch derby, and obviously Brighton tomorrow, and that's about it. JML says, if Brighton rated Caicedo so highly, why isn't his wages not like 100k plus? He's only getting 60k after his new contract.
Brighton don't have that money.
They're not a big
club. It's the agent, bro. It's the agent. Talk to the agent.
Actually, yes, the agent.
To the agent. Again, this agent is crazy. I don't know who he needs to. He might have to look into his representatives because it's not looking good. I'm not going to lie. It's not.
I can just picture his agent being some guy like, yeah, no problem, sign. Yeah, no problem.
No problemo. No problemo. Importante.
60,000, I get 10%. Okay, sign.
Yeah.
It's my player, importante.
Oh shit. Brighton are like a chinchilla. Well, no, what's that word?
Chihuahua.
Oh, sorry, Chihuahua. That's a chinchilla. That's how you know I'm getting tired. Barking at a pit bull. Let's see what else. We're going to be coming to a close soon, people, even though you're going to hate to hear that. Knew Vivell would leave after the board didn't listen to him about getting Nagelsmann. Yeah, like I said earlier, bro, I'm not really too shocked. I know it's shocking news because it's very random and it's like, why would this guy be leaving after he just come in? But when you look at the way the board is structured, the directors is structured, how little of his name we're hearing, who he didn't get managerial-wise, targets-wise, who leads the this guy is not here to be the side chick. You know what I mean? Like, he's Christopher Vivell from Leipzig, big reputation, was meant to be chief.
Red Bull Group, bro. Red Bull Group.
Meant to be chief. And
that's not a joke.
We did want to be Red Bull Group. Now we've changed our mind. So yeah, I think listen, I'm not surprised. If you're not gonna get a lot of control in a position like that, I don't really see the point. To be honest, may as well go to a club where you're head chief, your chief and commander. What have Brighton won? This is getting personal. They're only doing it because of Benfica. If they keep doing it with big clubs, they will walk away and laugh at Brighton trying hard to ball big clubs. You're not Benfica. People are getting very angry. I can't wait to play them tomorrow, man. Damn. Stephen Gerrard says, "Who cares about Mbappe? He's not a Chelsea player." Yeah, we don't really have time to talk about Mbappe too much today, to be honest. But we glossed up on it a little bit. They forgot that they're selling club. They think that they're up there with the European elite. I'm not proud of this.
We must
rivalry.
remind them.
I'm not proud of this rivalry, but it's unfortunate.
It's temporary.
It's temporary. It's very temporary.
We took ourselves to the depths of 12th, so we kind of have to deal with that.
It's
It's temporary. Once we skip past this, they'll be in the rear view forever, and then maybe they get relegated.
People are saying Bowie might be the problem. Obviously, that's in response to Vivell. I think Bowie has quite clearly, and Egbali, stepped back, if anything. And when Stanley and Lawrence Stewart are leading the negotiations, they're leading the contracts for Mason Mount. You saw how that changed from before the World Cup, to when Stanley in January, and then obviously things changed. So I'm not going to blame Bowie too much on this falling out between directors, because maybe they're disagreeing. And obviously, when you look at the pyramid scheme, when Stanley and Lawrence Stewart sit ahead of Vivell on the table, so they have final say, maybe if there's a 50-50 split or whatever. So yes, in hindsight, and to be honest, a lot of people said it at the time, too many cooks in one kitchen. But yeah, it seems to be that Bowie is not even directly involved in this. It's more just people disagreeing about targets and stuff.
Do you know what? This Vivell thing is the right thing. It is the right thing. What happened is the right thing. But I'm just annoyed that, it didn't have to happen. This is what, Todd Bowley, if he just relaxed when he came in. Todd Bowley came in with guns. It's just a bit of a wild, wild west. So
yeah.
What has happened is the right thing. Now, as Matisse said, the club honestly, I can't fault too much. In this transfer window, I cannot fault Chelsea Football Club too much. Done a magnificent job to get rid of so many people, and we've still got a couple more to go. And I think even with the Caicedo thing, I think we're doing the right thing. Do you know what I mean? We could, if it was Todd Bowley as the sporting director, Caicedo would have been a Chelsea player, 150 million, 5 weeks ago. and then FFP would be knocking on our door, and then you'd see Levi Colwill sold. You'd see, who else? Who's some of our academy boys? We don't even know that. Reece James maybe sold. Gallagher definitely sold. So all of these players probably would be sold.
We would probably sell Palace to 20% for Gerhi as well and sell them that for some million.
We would be on the cusp of getting Mbappe if it was all down to Todd Bowley, I'm pretty sure. Giving him 500k a week.
He wants his marquee. Sign him. That's there he is, sitting right there waiting for you. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the capacity. First it was 80, then 90, then 100. Now 10, 105. Brighton are not realistic. Most big clubs would have walked away for one good season, 100 M's. Now they're making it up. Well, again, Enzo Fernandez, I guess you could say 6 months, but I watch plenty of River Plate at 3 a.m. In the UK, so I know Enzo Fernandez was balling out for River Plate. But for those of you that went to bed and didn't get to see the masterclasses against Rio de Janeiro in the Champions League in South America, then that's your loss. But I was tuned in. More than you can believe.
He had to put the more than you can believe.
Of course.
Oh, must be a joker, bro.
So what's the damn price? You can't stick to a price. You're not exactly good negotiators, are you? Taking the piss. Yeah. Listen, we're gonna see how this all transpires and ends, but I'm not saying it's not looking good, bruv, but it's looking very tiring. And I do want it to come to an end. And I do want to know who the alternative is, because there must be an alternative.
I think at the moment, I was very positive moving along until now. I think now it's 50-50. I really think there could be a possibility where Chelsea go, do you know what? Brighton, you're taking the piss. Yeah, you're taking the piss. So it could happen. It could come to that situation.
I want to say this about Brighton, right? Before we go, is with Brighton and the fact that they are so adamant, right? Like, no. This, at first, it was meant to be like that super chat said, 70 or 80. Now it's 100, right? And they're just saying, no, we're not letting him go unless you pay 100. But when we tell them Levi Colwill's not for sale, oh no, he is though. And
like, also the cheek of them to bid 40. They bid 40.
Right,
not only is he not for sale, but they're also bidding 40. Come on now. Behave yourselves. Come on.
They're backwards. They're basically two-faced at this point. It's mad.
I see you.
The only way Colwill happens to Brighton is if we get 95% ownership of Brighton. You can take Colwill, but we own 95%. So he's essentially our player.
You're saying we're trying to do a Sporting Lisbon deal with regard to
Yeah. You're a sister club, a partner club. Levi Colwill is our player. We'll just let you have him for a season. So
I think personally, like I said, they need to move on from Natasha. There's plenty of girls out there. Go.
Natasha's good, but she's fine, Matisse.
They need to move.
She's been around, but they
need to move on from Natasha. They need to move on from Natasha. It's not for you, right?
Once you have Natasha Matisse,
that's not your soulmate. There's Sarah's and there's Whitney's.
But Sarah's got an off shape part.
There's so many girls out there. Just go out there, find your love of your life, settle down. Maybe it will be. I
must have Natasha.
Maybe it will be one of the Southampton centre backs. They're good, very good players, and they're available for a good price. They just got relegated.
Who's that? Kim and Katie.
Ketchup, I think his name is, and
Ketchup.
There's loads of players out there, man. So just move on. You know what I mean? There's more fish in the sea. You should know the seagulls. Do you know what I mean? You're literally by the sea and you don't know that there's more fish in the sea. It's kind of mad. The seagulls are on this one fish. And there's really, it's crazy. Doucouré is number one ball winning midfielder in the Premier League. I didn't actually know that. I didn't actually know that. Maybe we should pay 70 million for him.
Is that the Palace one? Is that the Palace one?
Yeah, maybe we should pay 70 million for him instead. We get this deal done. Our team is basically set for the next few years with our talented youngsters. Don't see us spending a lot next season. It's just pay. I wouldn't rule out paying for more players in following seasons, you know. But I'm just, if we get Caicedo done, I'm a lot more like I've already made peace with Kepa in goal. I've been seeing it for years anyway. It is where it is. Cool.
Yeah.
Strikers, I was always happy with moving with the young players. Jackson, people want us to speak on Jackson. Jackson was really good against Wrexham there. Good hold up play.
It was good.
It was good, guys, wasn't it?
Power.
Yeah.
Remember that run in the second half where he had about 5 lengths. The defender was 5 lengths ahead of him. Bro, he
In
moved
2
like
seconds.
a gazelle and ate him up.
Yeah.
I think the defender was like, "Whoa, that's like
He didn't expect it.
Do you know what though? We have so many of these rapid players, but they always get injured. Hudson-Odoi was like lightning. Do you know what I mean? And then bang, injury. Loftus-Cheek, brilliant, explosive player, injury. So I need these guys.
Do you know what Matisse
to stay fit.
Jackson got some size about him, bro.
Yeah.
He does. And he's Senegalese, man.
Yeah, I don't mess around with those people, bro.
African bones
I
are
don't mess
strong.
around, bro. Yeah.
You don't play with them, though. You don't play
I
with
see
them.
some Senegalese here in Sydney, bro. I'll tell you. They may look like they're skinny, but
They are
will
machines.
pack a punch. They will knock you out. You don't know what day it is. Seriously. They're bad boys. Bad boys.
Yeah, very, very impressed with Jackson. But like with everyone, now that the dust has settled, it's like, cool. That was good confidence builder for Wrexham. Now I want to see you against proper defenders.
Exactly.
Not from League Two, not from, just coming up from the Conference League. I want to see you against Premier League level defenders now. Are you going to spin them like that? So then we go from there. If the young midfield impresses again, I'm going into the season with just them. The end of the season, I'm certain they will be held in the same regard as Caicedo. For me, I need Champions League so badly that I'm not running that risk. I'm not doing it. I actually don't want these guys to just have that every single week they have to perform to the Chelsea level. I want them to be integrated, come in, if they learn something, make a mistake because it's their first year, they can do that because we can bench them and they can sit on the sidelines and they can listen, learn, and go again in a couple of weeks. What I don't want is first time Premier League, you must perform to the highest level. We need Champions League. You made a mistake, slandered on Twitter. You make another one, slander on Twitter. You're shit. I don't want that for these guys. I'm happy to have them as bench options. First one on, cool. I've got that much faith and trust. But in terms of the starting 11, that starting 11 needs to be ready to go up against Arsenal at the Emirates, Man City. I'm not getting slapped up again this season to these teams. Some of the performances last season were way too embarrassing for me to run this risk. I need respectful performances across the board. I'm not losing to Tottenham at their ground like last season. I'm not getting passed off the pitch at Stamford Bridge against Arsenal. I'm not having it. For me, you can drop points, you can draw, but bro, some of the performances last season were so embarrassing that I just need that starting 11 to be like, all right, cool, like we're ready. And then, some of the other guys afterwards can come in as well. So, especially in midfield, because up front, like I said, I'm so scarred from the proven guys that I'm actually willing to have these. But in midfield, the technical level in this league in midfield is so high. Arsenal got Partey and Rice, and they got Odegaard. And
look at how Aston Villa's moving as well, Matisse.
Yeah, Aston
Villa moving mad.
See the battle in midfield this season? This is the year for midfield. This is the battle in the midfield. Everybody's signing midfielders. The midfield this season is going to be the work. It's going to be work. You have to really be on your guard because it's not a joke. Midfield is going to be insane. So, yeah, for me, I need to have security in there. I think for the amount of players we let go in midfield, you got to be bringing in someone. You let go of Cover, Jorginho last 6 months, Kante, Mount. There's no excuse.
You just bring in one superstar, which is Caicedo, and then keep everyone else. Like keep your Caicedo, keep your Santos, obviously Enzo. But that one blockbuster, honestly, I'll be happy if it's just Caicedo this window. I will really be happy. I wanted another keeper.
Yeah.
I wanted another keeper, but that seems like that's not our fault. Once again, Onana wanted Man United, and Mike Maignan, AC Milan not entertaining a sell at the moment, and he's worth a lot of money too. So I'm okay. I'm okay. One more season. Let's see what Poch can do with Kepa. Only one. Caicedo. If we can bring in Caicedo, I think that changes us.
The key to this as well, it's not just about level of quality, because you're right. Santos after a year could be worth 100 million, and I'm here for it. But there actually is not enough balance. Like, just on a purely squad profile, we don't have enough midfielders in terms of defensive minded. We have Santos, and that's it. Cassidy, you see that ball carrying, that final pass, that step over, brother. I do not want him playing as a shackled 6 anchor. Let that man breathe. Let him be box to box. Let him play where Enzo plays or where Gallagher plays. You know, it's Carney. I don't need to tell you he's not a DM. Gallagher, don't even get me started. He ain't starting no first phase shit. So we actually need a defensive midfielder. It's not something that we just want because we're feeling a little bit blasé today and we want to splash some cash. We actually need one, because if Santos gets injured, Enzo's sitting on the edge of the box again, starting build up. And if I see that, I'm gonna pull my hair out, because this guy's too talented to be, you know, he's got too much of a shot on him, final pass, to be sitting there playing short passes with Colwill and Silva and them, man. So this is a needs must. It's actually a needs must. And that's it for me. Let's see. Enzo hype. Chelsea overpaid. Don't care how good. Obviously, your rival. You're gonna hold that in a couple of years. Enzo's only elite at passing. I watch him. No justification for 120 million. He's not a goal scorer. Is Toni Kroos a goal scorer? Is Luka Modric a goal scorer? We will talk.
But by the way, Matisse, this is exactly what I said moments ago. Christopher Vivell has left due to having no clear role in current structure. Yeah. Chelsea are working to establish a new recruitment structure. It's exactly what I said. He was probably questioning what you guys want me here for. So it might have been a mutual thing that until you figure out what I actually need to do, it's better I leave. So I think it makes sense. It makes sense.
He got hired to fire someone. That's great.
That's some mad episode of The Apprentice right there.
That's some, that's some probably mercenary stuff right there.
Over the past year, we've given the impression we don't know what we're doing, and our reputation's taken a hit. It needs to be addressed immediately. It's getting addressed. It's getting addressed. This has been a big. It's been a step up in the way we've handled business. Not flying for dinner with Laporta. Not watching Twitter, hearing about things are happening and people dancing and break dancing on.
That was a mad win. The last one, Twitch.
Things are happening. Like, we've come a long way. we more than you can believe, we've come a long way. So there has been improvement. Moving a little bit more calm and quiet now, which is
better. Yeah.
And if only 2 incomings officially this window in terms of first teamers, and loads of sales, then we have moved with a bit more maturity.
And I'll tell you what's a good way to judge that we are moving better. Tell me one player who's currently in the squad right now in this USA tour that probably shouldn't be there.
Yeah,
you won't be able to name one. I'll tell you right now, you won't be able to name one. Previous seasons, there were probably more that didn't belong there,
literally,
as opposed to the ones that needed to be.
Did you see the team last season?
Yeah, it was mad.
Mate.
It was
you got done
Kennedy.
in it before the Wrexham game. Someone put the old lineup of last season and you thought it was legit.
I was traumatized, genuinely traumatized. Barkley, I was seeing. Batshuayi, Bakayoko. Listen, we've come a long way. We've come a long way.
We have. If all that suffering is justified, right, and if we end up with something special, we can look back at that 1 year of pain. It might be worth it.
Yeah, we're gonna
people
wrap
saying
up,
Cucurella and Sterling and Gallagher. Look, they don't. It's not like they don't deserve to be there. It's not that deep about them. They're still good players. Like Gallagher is still a good player, just not Chelsea level. But that doesn't mean that he 100% should not be at the preseason. It's okay. It's not like Barkley or Bakayoko or Baba Rahman. Like,
there's levels to this. There is levels to this. Watch that Caicedo go up after tomorrow. And guys, what's your cutoff point to walk away? My cutoff point is if we put together a package of 100 million in installments, and they still say no. If they say no to that, because then cool. Caicedo, talk to your people because we're done. We're done here. Even though that's overpaying, I would overpay just to get this done because I want the player that badly now. But if they say no to that, I'm done. I don't even care anymore.
Well, if they say no to that, that's mad.
Yeah, then they've lost their minds. Yeah, then they've lost their minds. All right, let's come to a close. What a show, man! What a show!
Top show.
We've gone from cussing out Seagull City. We've done everything. We've completed it. We've completed everything. We've done everything. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. You had to wait a bit longer for that one because I was away on holidays. But listen,
I can't believe we don't have 2,000 likes, Matisse, bro. I thought we entertained today. That's sad, bro.
The amount of jokes.
We're not coming next week. We're not coming next week.
So many jokes.
No, you know what? It's the time slot. We've got the Americans watching at the moment.
We've confused.
The English lot have gone to bed.
Well, we're on pre-season, so I thought maybe we should cater to the Americans. You know what I mean? We won't be in
2,000 likes. 2,000 likes a bare minimum for the performance we put out, bro. Wow, we had Viagra talks, this, that, the other.
Bro,
we had Natasha, we had Viagra.
Jizz.
Bro, we had everything. Yeah. There's actually probably some life lessons to take out of this, really. Some deeper life lessons, some deeper lessons.
I'm disappointed in you.
That's for everybody else to
don't go to brothels is the moral of the story.
So there you are. Younes, let the people know where to find you, bro. I look forward to your second video today. It's gonna be mad.
That's coming out after this, yeah. So as soon as this is done, you'll be getting a piece from me.
Video too.
Yeah, straight to Brighton. Yeah, absolutely. So Younes Talks Football is where you're going to find all my latest and my opinions on the crazy sagas that's going on. On top of that, I will give my thoughts on this whole Mbappe situation alongside it because it's just kicking off. And I know some people expect Chelsea to be able to facilitate that, but we're not going to.
Younes, that some people is you that expects Mbappe at Chelsea, no one else.
This is what's going to happen. Yeah, we're going to get Mbappe and we're winning the league.
You and George Benson at it again. We're gonna win the league. I know that video from George is coming. If we win all our 100% games, I know I'm gonna have to message George like, yo, what is this title? What is this video that you're doing? Because George, you and George are always around August. This is when the guys, I'm already predicting this. Early August. Watch out for Younes Talks Football and George.
They do a prediction.
This is when they do their prediction videos, and this is when they say, we're gonna win the league. It's coming. So just be ready for that. All right. Just be ready for that.
But ban that video, bro. If that video, I'm reporting that video straight up.
Hey, the last time we done predictions, it all went left. I think we predicted 7 wins in a row.
I'm coming with the most serious predictions this season. I don't want to be getting it. I don't want to be caught out this year.
Nah,
I'm not Nostradamus, bro. I'm not doing no prediction, bro. Just win.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah, just like Potts, just win. Miz, brother, pleasure. Absolute.
Yeah, man. What a show. Top show. The other side of the coin, I think we're just maybe a handful away from 25,000, which is good. So let's get there. And yeah, man, watch out for, obviously, watch Younes's one and then watch my video later on as well. Please give it some love. And I shall see you guys for a live tomorrow early to talk about all of this madness and then really connect with the live chat. Yeah.
Love that, guys. For me, I don't know what I'm on. I need to compose myself after all of this cussing, but we will be doing the watch along tomorrow. It's going to be a double header because Arsenal are playing Man United just before Chelsea versus Brighton.
Oh wow!
And I feel like it would be rude of me to not see the Mason Mount Kai Havertz face off. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there for that. And then we'll do Chelsea versus Brighton. It's a double header, derby day, big games, big rivalries, big banter. So make sure you subscribe, smash up the like. I'll probably put out a video tomorrow. I don't know what it's going to be on yet because we kind of discussed everything here. I don't think I've got anything left to say. But I'm sure some madness.
Natasha.
I might just do a whole video on Natasha. Yeah, to be honest. Natasha's
greatest hits.
Natasha's greatest hits. Come with some GTA character in the thumbnail. I'm telling you. But yeah, smash up the likes. What a show. Until next time, in a bit, people. Peace.